Then I think the players have got to take huge credit for the second half. I thought they went out there and applied themselves, and they merited the 3 points at the end of the day. They got the ball down, they tried to move them, they tried to get in behind them. So really happy that we managed to come back from a losing position twice, but really happy that the boys found a way to win that game of football. They found solutions on the park, and so delighted for them. That's kind of it. I thought for the first 35 minutes with 11 men in the park, we were value for money. We were very comfortable in the game. On another day, we've got to do better with the chances we created with 11 men in the park. So I was very comfortable in the game, and then Big Fitzy gets sent off. That's just a game changer at that moment in time, to be fair. Fair play to Aberdeen and Jim. They made the most of that. We should have been a wee bit more compact, but I made a lot of changes because I had one eye on another game. The next game I made a lot of changes in the second half, and we kind of lost a wee bit of fluidity in the game, and then Aberdeen went on to win the game by a convincing scoreline. But if you actually look at the shots that we gave up, I think Aberdeen scored something along the lines of 75% of their chances, but fair play to them. They made the most of the man advantage, and we were a wee bit slack.
The league is?
I think even if you look at the league below, it's very similar, but that's testament to Scottish football. Shows how competitive the league are. I kind of keep hearing it, the league's not as competitive as it used to be. For talking say, why is Livingston lost a game, why is Aberdeen lost a game, why is Dundee United lost a game, or keep hearing these whys, but surely that's down to the teams within the league. We're all capable of picking up points or beating one another. You only have to look at maybe Rangers yesterday, and then ourselves at Ibrox out with Celtic. I don't think anybody's got a divine right to go and pick 3 points up there this season. That's the competitive nature of the league. So for me, we should be applauding that and should be talking about the positives, albeit maybe some people are focusing on the negatives, teams not picking up points when they should be picking up points. So a really competitive league this year, and I think it's definitely exciting for the neutral. I'm not so sure so much for myself, but I'd rather there was a bigger gap there, if I'm honest. But really competitive league this year. But generally you're going into 95%, maybe a touch higher, your league games, in the belief that you can go and take 3 points, and every manager will be the same. Honestly, I've got a huge amount of time for Brucey. Brucey's probably one of these players, when his time at Livingston, he moves on to pastures new at some point in his career. I'll keep in touch with Brucey. I've got a huge amount of time for him, honestly. So I think at the start of the season, he missed a few months at the tail end of last season. I think he had a huge impact on where he was coming back this season. I think Bruce will be honest enough to say he probably needed to do a wee bit more in the pre-season, and then he came back and he was a little bit behind in terms of conditioning because of the previous 3 months, let's say, and then he picked up a couple of ankle injuries. It was kind of a wee bit stop-start for Brucey. But I've explained, I've had a lot of chats with Brucey. I do a lot of 1v1 stuff with Brucey, or in small groups with Brucey. He comes in his day off, we get a keeper in, we do a lot of finishing drills, so I've got a lot of time for Brucey. I personally put a lot of effort into Brucey because I know what's there, I know the potential within Brucey, and if I can get what I got on Friday night out of Brucey will not come out my team. He will not come out my team, and that's for me. But with young players, you've got to give him a wee bit of leeway as well. He's still a young player, really, in terms of the amount of games he's played in the Premier League. I think there's a lot of potential to come, but we need to work on getting that consistency with one another. But it's like all strikers, they gain confidence for scoring goals. How do they score goals? They get themselves on the park. So it's kind of like a catch-22. But wee Brucey's made the position his to lose. He's in a really good place. We've got 2 big games coming up. I envisage Brucey to start both games. And then I've told him he can have 2 or 3 days off. The rest of the boys are taking 10 days off, and I'll come in and do a wee bit with Brucey. Me and Brucey will do a wee bit of work on striker movement, finishing, that type of thing, until the boys come back, because he's missed a good bit at the start of the season. I think it's imperative that we keep his confidence and the momentum going, and there's no reason whatsoever why Brucey can't go on and beat the goals record that he got last year. Obviously you've got to get fingers crossed with a wee bit of injuries, you've got to get a wee bit of luck in that respect. It's Bruce's jersey to lose. Bruce knows that, and he knows what he's got to do to stay in the team. But I was delighted with him on Friday. Honestly, I was delighted for him and delighted for the boys, but I was really happy for Brucey on a personal level, because he's put a lot of work into getting himself where he is today. We set the environment. I keep hearing about this brilliant changing room we've got. The changing room changes every year, the staff don't. So to be honest, we set the environment. It's a club culture. We set the environment. I believe when you walk through that front door, you should enjoy coming to your work. So there's a lot of banter at the club, but do you know what? We know when to have a laugh, and we know when we need to work hard, and we installed that in the boys, and every member of staff, from the front of the office to the back of the office, they all work extremely hard. We all do a multitude of different jobs. There's no one job description, but I think you can see that identity within the players also. You've got boys that are very good in the ball, but they're no shy in going, putting the hard work in, putting tackles in, being aggressive, being physical. So I think that identity is led from the culture that the staff's created at the club. It's a difficult question, Jamie, if I'm honest. Should Aberdeen be in the top 4 or 5? Probably. Jim's not going to thank me for that one. But yep, Jim will put demands on himself, but I think with the size of the club and the budgets they've got to be getting top 6, probably top 4 European football. But when I look at the league at this point in time, out with Celtic, I think it's a very competitive league. I don't gamble, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd be struggling to pick who the top 6 is going to be and who the bottom 6 is going to be. But that's due to the competitive nature of Scottish football or the Premier League at this point in time, which I think we should be marketing and we should be talking about in a much more positive manner. Because really, out with Celtic at this point, maybe Rangers to a certain degree, any one of us can go and beat the other one on a given day. So for the neutral, that's got to be good, and it's got to be good for Scottish football. Yeah. I think Jim's changed his shape since I last played him. It's probably 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 in the previous game. He's now more a 3-5-2. The 2 strikers up front, and that's testament to Jim. I think he's realised the 2 boys have got a great relationship with one another, and they've went and picked up some really good results playing that system. So the 2 of them are a handful. Jim's got good problems on his hands in terms he's got 2 strikers that are scoring goals, so it's a really nice problem to have.